Hi everyone, welcome to Rene Descartes lecture on meditation 2. So we ended meditation 1 with this absolute skepticism about all my beliefs by introducing the possibility of an evil deceiver who can deceive me about all my thoughts, even mathematical truths like 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the possibility that there is this evil deceiver creates uncertainty about everything I believe. And so Descartes wants to say, is there anything at all? Is there anything at all that I can know with absolute certainty? If I can find one claim, one intuition, one insight that I can say, this is indubitable. This is something that I cannot doubt. Then from that claim, I can maybe construct deductively and using more insight and intuition, I can begin to construct, using that as my Archimedean point, a system of absolute certain knowledge. Is there something? This is Descartes' very famous argument. It's called the cogito argument. It is, I think, therefore I am. He never says it in that way, but the point is that since he is doubting, he is thinking. And since he doubts everything, he is thinking. He knows that there is a thinking thing. There's something that is in thought, has mental, not physical, mental events going on. And this thing, whatever it is, he calls it I, but I just have access consciousness to it. I have this immediate consciousness of my thoughts and my doubting. This I know for sure that that exists. That there's this thing going on. There's this thinking thing. And this is indubitable. It cannot be doubted. It's the only thing that I cannot doubt. For to be fooled requires, right, that I think. And so it is this, what we say, phenomenological aspect, this experiential, internal, not external, internal, right? This feeling, sensation of thinking is what is immediate to me and is absolutely certain. Now, I know that I have all kinds of thoughts. I have the thought of perception. I see things, but I don't know if these things are real because I don't know if there's an evil demon who's fooling me about these things that I see. It's possible that there's nothing there and it's just making me see this. It's also possible that my whole world is an illusion, right? And is being created by this evil deceiver. So I can't have any kind of knowledge of anything external to my own thoughts. As long as my claims are about my own thoughts, internal and not external, I am safe. So, for instance, I can say, I think I see a tree. I have the perception of a pen, for instance. I have a perception of the pen. This is absolutely true. What I cannot say is that there is a pen in front of me. Okay, I can't even say that if I go to the mirror and I see that I have hands and a body and so on, I cannot say that I have a body and so on. I can only say I perceive that I have a body, as long as I keep it internally. So if I go outside and I see trees, I cannot say there are trees. I can only say I perceive that there are trees. So for Descartes, when he says, I think, therefore I am, the cogito argument, which cogito means I think, cogito ergo sum, therefore I am. He means, when he says I think, he means everything that is mental. Everything in my mental life is absolutely certain because it's immediate to me. Now, this ends up in a kind of solipsism, right? So there is nothing. I am stuck in my own mind. I cannot claim to know anything outside of myself. I cannot claim to know anything, Descartes says, about the external world. And this is a problem. And sometimes people call this the gap between my thinking, my thoughts, my perceptions, and the world. And how can I connect this? How can I make that connection, the gulf or the gap between the internal and the external? How can I know that when I see a tree or I see a pen, there is a pen? How can I make this correspondence? How can I know that the things that I perceive correspond to the real world? And how can I know that the way I see them or perceive them are the way they are in the real world? It seems that I can't know this with absolute certainty because there remains the possibility that there's an evil deceiver that may deceive me about this correspondence between the internal and external world. Meditation 3, Descartes takes the next step to resolve the gulf or the gap between the internal and external world. Stay tuned.